question I always get regarding landing pages is why can't I just use my author website? Well, there are three main advantages over using landing pages over your author website pages. The first is focus. If you draw people back to your website, you may lose them because of all the information and things going on your website. Your focus with this page is to sell your book, period. The second is SEO ranking. If you have purchased a URL, which is the same as your book name, which hopefully you do, and if the book name is not available, then something very, very similar available, every time someone hits that page and goes to it, it's going to raise your SEO ranking. The higher your SEO ranking, the more visibility you have on the internet. So super, super important. And the third is easy social sharing. If people have to go to your website to share the information about your book, again, you may lose them. There's a lot of information on the website. If they have a simple landing page to share with social media icons, they can share your book all over the place. So what goes on the landing page? What is it that you're trying to focus everyone's attention to? Number one, it's your attractive book cover, and that has placement at the very top of the page. Second is a killer headline. Third is an immediate call to action. And if you're a first-time author and not familiar with internet marketing, this is going to be something new, the call to action. You should have a book trailer on it, your author bio, a sneak peek of your information, your book, validating endorsements, social media sharing buttons, and opt-ins so that you can share more with your new audience. So your book cover is going to be the focal point, the first thing people see on your landing page. First impressions make a difference. It's just like in real life. Your first impression is the impression you go with, your lasting impression. Your book cover should be positioned at the top of the landing page. This sets the tone for the page and says, I'm a professional. I've put time and effort into the quality of my book. I've put time and effort into the quality of my page, and you're going to see that I can add value to your life with my book by the time you reach the bottom of this page. The next item you're going to need on the page is an attention-grabbing headline, and this should be positioned somewhere near the cover image. And this headline should command attention and show value. What is your book's big promise, and what is the result that reading your book will provide to the buyer? So if you have written your back cover blurb, you already should have some tangible results and reasons why someone should buy your book. This is where you're going to use all of that information and put it into an attention-grabbing headline. Grab them. This is your hook. This is what brings them in. Finish down to the bottom of this page so you can find out more. An immediate call to action. For those of you who are not internet marketers, this is going to be a whole new concept, but you know that you've seen them on different pages, different ads where people are asking you to act now. So this is where you're going to link the buy button for your book. It is always on the upper third of the landing page, somewhere to the side or below of your attention grabbing headline and your awesome cover. Now you're probably saying, well, why does it need to be in the middle third or the upper third of the page? The reason it needs to be up there is because our attention span is so limited these days. If you make your potential reader, book purchaser, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, chances are you may lose him or her. So that's why it goes in that upper third. If they like what they see from the attention-grabbing headline and the awesome cover, then they may go ahead and click. So you're giving them that option right there. Also on this page should be your book trailer. These are becoming more and more common in the publishing industry, and high profile authors like Ryan Holiday, Ariana Huff, Seth Godin, they all use book trailers. And the reason that you want to use these is it elevates the urge to purchase your book because you're putting out a little bit of information and a little bit of intrigue about what your book is. So that's something that you really want to maximize. Now, a book trailer probably is going to need to be produced by a professional. There are a lot of websites out there. There are a lot of people who do a terrific job with this. You probably spend between $500 and $1,000 to get it done. But remember, the point here is that you want to launch like a pro. You don't want to be on a shoestring and cut out the purchasing possibilities. So pay to have one made, and get it done right. Also, on your landing page, you're going to want to have a bio, and your bio cannot be a resume. This is not something where you say, I graduated with an MBA from da 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 da. It's not what you would gear towards getting a job. What you want here is to turn your readers into fans. So you need to get a little bit personal. And this is really hard for writers sometimes because they tend to be an introverted bunch of people. But what you want to do is write it up in a fashion, your bio, that is human, relatable, you're vulnerable, and you're original. Those things all put together are what translates into what we call authentic. If you have a really hard time doing this, a great place to have a bio written for a landing page is on Fiverr. There are a lot of good writers on there who can whip something up in a day or two and you're ready to go. The sneak peek. This is where you're going to share the first chapter of your book or an excerpt from your book. Now, I always have a hard time with authors getting this out there. Everyone wants to sell their book. They don't want to give something for free, but this is the one place where you absolutely need to give a little bit for free. You need to let your potential readers wet their whistle and make sure that they want to buy your book. And sometimes just the persuasion of this first chapter will help move that purchasing decision along. Validating endorsements. Readers really appreciate when they know that other readers have read and liked your book. So, as part of validating endorsements, you can use Amazon reviews. A lot of people I know use beta readers because they're an excellent way to get endorsements. And a beta reader is a third party who reads your book and gives you feedback. It's a great way to find out in advance if there are weaknesses in your book. And I strongly encourage you to use someone who is not your friend or someone who's a really straight shooter who's going to give you good information. A lot of times your friends will read the book and they don't want to hurt your feelings if it's not good. And you want really strong positive feedback. You don't want to hear that it's really super good, like the best thing I've ever read, when it's really not. So it's an excellent way to get feedback. Another way to get validating endorsements is to actually pay for reviewers. That can be a little bit expensive, and you might not actually get back the feedback that you're looking for. But either way, the validating endorsements, they help a reader who's on the fence decide whether they want to buy the book or not. I mentioned earlier that you want to use a landing page so people can share anywhere. Putting social media icons on this page is essential. Not only so people can share the page, but they can share it on different venues. It's a lot easier to click a Facebook icon and share it on your Facebook page than it is to cut and paste the URL from the top and share the page. So make sure that you have those icons on your page and that your pages are set up and that the links are good. So if you have a Facebook page for your business or a Facebook page for your book, and you should have both, then make sure that those icons are on there so it's really easy for people to share and say, loved this book, hope you'll love it too. At the very bottom of the page, it's always important to have an email opt-in. And what that is a place for your readers, your fans, or people who are just interested in more information about what you do and who you are to have an opt-in into your mail list. And when you collect these emails, this is an opportunity for you to trade in a newsletter, to promote some of your products. If you're a coach or if you have a product line of some sort, this is the place where you collect emails and you stay in touch with your readers. The bigger your list, the more people you will have to buy your books. So if this is something where you're going to be writing a series, or you know that you've got 3 or 4 books in you, you'll find that this starts to snowball. When you collect these names on a list, your first book doesn't always sell as well as your other books. But by having this list and telling your new fans about your books that will come out after this, you're going to find that even people who come into the list later who haven't read your first book, if they like your second or third book, they'll go back and buy your first one. So this is kind of the snowball effect, and very worth putting together. So you have no idea how to do this, and I get that. It took me a long time to be able to put my own landing pages together. So here's the shortcut. Go to fiverr.com. It's on here, FIV is in Victor, ERR.com, and put into the search engine, once you sign up, it's a free sign up, put into the search engine landing pages. Look for people on there who have had a lot of jobs and a lot of good reviews. They will put together excellent landing pages for you. And if you give them all the criteria that we have above that we've just gone through, they will put together a killer landing page for you. It usually takes about a week to 10 days for someone to do. Don't expect to get it done for $5 because a lot of these things that they're going to add in are going to be adders, but you should be able to have a really super landing page put together for, I would say, under $75. So keep this in mind, get all the information together and send it on over to Fiverr. I have someone that I use on a regular basis. If for some reason, you don't find someone that really resonates with you, just shoot me an email at info@winsomemediagroup.com and I will share with you the person that I use exclusively.